Yesterday we talked about borderline personality disorder, and I promised you that I would come back today and explain to you how that's different from narcissistic personality disorder. So that's what we're talking about today at queenbeing.com. Let's get started. My name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. So like we talked about yesterday in the video, and I'll leave a link for you right there, borderline personality disorder looks a lot like narcissistic personality disorder. So how are we supposed to tell the difference? Obviously, it needs to be diagnosed by a professional. But while both of these personality disorders can resemble one another, and while they do have about a 25% overlap rate, comorbid 25% of the time, meaning that someone could have both NPD and BPD, they are different disorders. They are distinct. They each have their own set of criteria, even though the symptoms sound so similar from the surface. The fact that people who suffer from BPD and people who suffer from NPD both have unhealthy ways of dealing with frustration and anger and upset tends to make people go, are we sure they're not the same? Here's one difference between people with BPD and NPD. It's the way that they express anger. According to Randy Kager, who wrote the book Walking on Eggshells, people who have BPD definitely have their outbursts that could be seen as rages. But the difference is, instead of raging at individual people, they tend to blow up and then push themselves away from people and go do their thing over here and then later apologize for their explosive anger. They feel shameful about it. They don't feel good about it. They promise never to do it again. Of course, sometimes they do it again, but they don't want to hurt you. Someone with NPD will attack you relentlessly, and they take their anger out on you directly. Some borderlines, according to this author, they don't get angry outwardly, but then they just go in their room and they self-harm in order to get through something. They don't want to hurt other people. Narcissists, though, people with NPD, they believe they're better than other people. People with BPD don't believe that, see? And so narcissists, they'll attack you and they'll keep on attacking and they'll never apologize. They'll never feel bad about it. They believe that other people aren't as good as them. And so if other people have the nerve to think they're good as them, or if other people don't allow them to have their way, narcissists will go ballistic without a single worry in the world about it. Someone with BPD isn't going to necessarily attack you and tear you down as a person, while someone with NPD absolutely will do that, as we all know. Like I said earlier, while they are typically separate, it can coexist, BPD and NPD at the same time. Here is another similarity. People with BPD and NPD both are really scared of being abandoned. Of course, the fact that they struggle to keep relationships going with people on a healthy level probably increases that fear. So if someone were to be emotionally healthy, what that means is that they not only can be aware of their own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, but they can also see and hear others' thoughts, feelings, and beliefs as relevant. Here's another way that people with NPD and people with BPD are different. People with NPD don't see other people's beliefs as relevant ever, while people with BPD tend to care too much about other people's beliefs and allow other people's beliefs to destroy them, which again is why sometimes you see somebody with BPD with somebody with NPD being destroyed. Of course, in the case of both BPD and NPD, there is a concern that the person will go through the devalue phase and devalue and discard that person. People with BPD tend to be on the flip side of the discard in many cases, but they too sometimes will do the discard in advance of the other person leaving them. Obviously, in any case, this must be diagnosed by a doctor or a psychiatrist, psychologist. It cannot be diagnosed by you personally, and having BPD or NPD is a situation where a person struggles to change. The difference, I think the primary, biggest, most shining difference here is that a person with BPD is not out to hurt anyone else, while a person with NPD does not care if they hurt anyone else. A person with BPD might actually physically or otherwise hurt him or herself in order to prevent someone else from being hurt or someone else from feeling their anger. And they'll be genuinely remorseful for having exploded and been angry at you. That's the difference. Now, I've talked before about the symptoms of NPD and what those are, and I'll link to a video for you about that. But I have not gone over the official symptoms of BPD, so let me do that really quickly. According to the DSM-5, they include rapid mood changes, intense and very unstable interpersonal relationships, a very unstable self-image, issues with abandonment, real or perceived, impulsive behaviors like binge eating, drinking, doing drugs, substance abuse in general, compulsive shopping, compulsive gambling, that kind of stuff, other types of addictions, feeling empty, feeling hollow, lost, struggling to control their anger, feeling paranoid or dissociative. In my next major video, I'm going to talk about cognitive dissonance, and I'm going to share with you some tools I'm creating for you on that subject to help you overcome cognitive dissonance yourself. Okay, this brings me to the question of the day. And the question of the day is, do you or does someone you know have BPD? Are you still confused about how BPD and NPD are different? What are your thoughts? What are your experiences? What are your questions about this? Let's talk about it. Leave your thoughts and your ideas in the comments section below, your experiences. Does something need to be added to this video? What are your thoughts? Let me know how else I can help you with this issue. Make sure you take a look at the videos I've left for you here and right here and right here. Oh, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there so we can continue on this healing journey together. And as always, remember that you're not alone. You've always got your Spanily. Thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon.